Welcome back to CHS Podcast. I'm Lakely.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Lainey.
And we are here with
Mrs. Dorband, Assistant Principal.
So today we are just going to be asking Ms. Dorband some questions.
All
Dakota,
right.
if you want to.
Okay, our first question is going to be, how long have you been working in Caledonia?
I came to Caledonia in the fall of 2018 as a school counselor, and then I worked at the district office for a while, and now I'm back at the high school. So 6 years.
What's your favorite position you've had so far throughout Caledonia?
So far, I would say this one. I think it's a perfect mix of people and tasks, and yeah, I love it.
What are you looking for? Like, what are your goals for being assistant principal?
So I try to focus on two things, take care of staff and take care of students. So, and also have some fun along the way. So yeah.
What's a day in the life of you?
Yeah.
Ms. Dorband?
All right. Well, I get to school about 6:55 and usually check in with Mr. Martin and then head to the doors. I love to say good morning to you all because some of you are morning people and some are not, and I just really enjoy that. And then sometimes meetings, sometimes getting some work done on my computer. Registering people for AP tests right now is on my agenda, and then going to lunch and making sure that everybody's getting what they need in the lunchroom and not leaving too early. And then, yeah, maybe some more meetings, maybe stopping by some classrooms, checking in with teachers, sometimes meeting with parents, meeting with students, meeting with counselors to take care of students, things like that. It really changes every day. So, and then at night, trying to stop by different athletic events, cheering people on, all that good stuff.
Yeah. What is your least favorite part of this job? Or like thing you don't like as much?
Yes. I don't think anybody really likes being yelled at by angry people. So that would probably be the thing that I don't like the most. But I'm also a licensed therapist, so it helps to have that background and just understanding that most people who are upset just want to be heard.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Do you have any kids at Caledonia?
I do. I have 3, 2 of them at the high school, and they're sophomores, and then I have one at Duncan Lake Middle School.
Okay.
So do you have twins?
They're not twins, but they are in the same grade. And then they're both in 10th grade, and then, yeah, my one is in 7th grade at the middle school. Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions?
Yes. Where did you go to college and what did you go for?
Okay, so I got my bachelor's from school in Colorado, and that is in youth guidance. And then I went on straight after that. I worked as a reading interventionist, and then went on straight after that and got my master's in school counseling, and also my license as a professional counselor at the same time from Spring Arbor University. And then when I went back for my leadership certificate, I attended Augustana University as well as, I can't remember the other name, Lindenwood University. And then I also finished my certification through MASSP, which is Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals. It's not exactly a college, it's an organization.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a lot of schooling.
Yes.
So this kind of ties into what we were just talking about, but what is like your road to getting to where you are now? Because you mentioned you were from Colorado.
Yes.
So,
So actually I worked on the east side of the state for 10 years before I moved to Colorado. So went to college in Colorado, moved to the east side of the state, Detroit area, worked there for 10 years as a school counselor. And then I also worked in school admin there. So I worked as a dean of students and then also coordinating a bunch of different schools over there. And then when we moved to Colorado, I worked at a middle school as a suicide and substance abuse counselor. And then when we moved here, took the role as school counselor and then decided I wanted to get my admin certificate just because I love doing shared problem solving, working with teams, being in leadership, and wanted to do that eventually but didn't really know when. And then when this position came open, it just seemed like the right place at the right time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So where did you grow up?
A suburb of Chicago, so none of the places that I mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
So you've kind of been all over a little
Yes.
bit. That's cool.
And I would like to say that I think Grand Rapids people are the nicest. So
That's good.
of all the places I've lived, y'all have the most Midwest feel, and I love the community.
That's good.
What has been your favorite job in the past, like outside of Caledonia?
I would have to say for 2 years, I worked as the suicide and substance abuse prevention counselor in Colorado, and that was just at a middle school of about 750 kids. And my whole job, so basically I taught mental health as part of a PE and health department. So I had a different health class every day. So 5 days a week, I taught mental health for all periods every day. And that was probably my favorite because most of the time you don't get to prevent stuff. You're just like reacting to it. So I loved being able to be proactive.
What's one of the craziest things you've had to deal with at like any of the schools you've worked at?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, goodness. Well, okay, so when I worked on the east side of the state, I worked predominantly in K through 12 buildings. So we had like little people all the way up to like about to graduate high school kids in the same building. Yeah. And we had a lot of kids that would elope, it's called, and that just means like run out of the building. And one day we were about to have like a big parent presentation, and we had all these parents in the lobby, and we had a kid that had left the building, so we're all like rushing around, and he like made it almost all the way to this very busy street before we were able to get our hands on him, and the parents were all up in arms, and yeah, we got our hands on him. He was fine.
Goodness.
But,
That's insane.
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yes. And in the meantime, I smacked my head on a door frame on my way out of the lobby and in front of all of these parents. So I don't know if that was the craziest situation, but that was definitely one of the more embarrassing ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a piece of advice you would give someone that wants to like become like your position later in life?
That's a great question. I think what's really important, just off the cuff, is being secure in who you are. So understanding what you value and what you think is important, because everybody will have a different opinion about what they think you should prioritize. So I think that's really important. And then also knowing that other people's opinions don't define you. While it's important to understand like your impact on other people, it doesn't get to define who you are, because man, opinions are always super wide and varied, and I think it's important to just be secure in who you are.
They're really good.
Yeah, very good
advice.
answer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I have 2 dogs.
Oh, there we go.
What kind of dogs do you have?
And what are their names?
Yes.
They're adorable. Maggie and Evie. Evie is named after a Pokemon because my husband is obsessed with Pokemon Go. And Maggie was our pandemic dog, so we actually adopted her a week before the pandemic shut everything down, and she's scared of everything. We have to, when she was a puppy, we had to like carry her past, like if there was a bike on the side of the road and she wasn't used to it, she'd be so scared and we'd have to carry her past it. They're both rescue mutts, so I think technically they have like some German Shepherd and Husky and Pit Bull in them, but yeah, just rescue mutts. They're adorable and very needy. And I walk them every day because otherwise they'll be super sad, even in the winter when it's like -10. We go on walks. Yes, Evie is scared of nothing, so we call Evie Maggie's emotional support dog because Maggie needs it. Maggie needs a lot of reassurance that the world is not such a scary place to be, and she's going to be okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, my favorite season.
Yeah.
All right. Oh gosh, it would be a toss-up between summer when it's not mega humid and fall for sure.
I agree.
100%. That's the only right answer.
We have the best fall.
We do.
It really is.
The weather's great, and the cider donuts are great.
Oh, yes.
I know
I'm so
Robinettes. Robinettes is open all year, but like I convince myself it's only open in the fall. So then like it's special when.
That's very true.
Yes,
It's just a different feeling
it is.
when you're going to Robinette's in the fall.
Yeah, and eating a yummy donut.
Exactly.
To kind of back off that question, what is your favorite holiday? Like, what are your top 5? Like, you would rank?
Top 5 holidays? Oh, goodness. That's so hard. I love Christmas, not necessarily just because it's Christmas, but because we always go see family, and that feels really great. Yeah. I love my kids' birthdays. Those aren't really holidays, but I love my kids' birthdays because like it feels like the one day you get to be like, this is all about you.
Yeah.
And we love you and you're amazing. I have all boys though, and so I always say having a teenage son is like being in a relationship with someone who's not that into you. So it can be a little, they're just, they're more chill. Girls like to talk a lot more, typically.
Yeah.
Not all. I don't like to categorize people as all or never, but anyway. And then other top holidays. I always love like Memorial Day because it feels a little unexpected, like to
Yeah.
get a day off like right before the end of school. So that feels nice. Labor Day also feels like a treat because, you know, you just started school and it's kind of a grind and then you get like a long weekend. So I would say those are, among my favorites for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
Can it be a drink?
It can be a drink. It can be anything.
Coffee.
Oh.
Ooh.
I drink like 100 ounces at least of coffee.
What kind of
a day.
coffee?
Yeah.
Just I brew it at home,
Oh.
and we brew a pot, and then I stick it in the refrigerator, and so it's always iced coffee. So if you see my giant cup in my office, it's my second one of the day when I come to work. So my first one of the day I drink when I'm at home working out in the morning, and then second one of the day is then I can't drink it after 1 p.m. or I won't sleep at night.
And
So
it's
I'm
always
old.
iced.
Almost always.
Yeah.
It'd be rare. Like if I am
Valid.
home on a Saturday morning, I'll drink a warm coffee, but
That's true.
iced.
What do you add into it? Is it just black?
Sometimes it's just black or some almond milk, unsweetened.
Yeah.
But yeah, just caffeinated.
Yeah.
The one thing it'll never be is decaffeinated.
Yeah.
What's your take on the school lunch this year?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, well, it's complicated, right? There's a lot of feelings about school lunch. I do think I'm definitely one that knows how food affects your mental health. So I do think it's important to make sure nutritional content's good. I also think it has to taste good though, because food is for fuel most of the time, but it should also be fun and like enjoyable. So I know that that's been a struggle. I could be wrong, but I did hear that there's been like a little better feedback the past couple days.
Yeah,
People
I've
have
been
said it's been
hearing that.
improving. There's
The
been more
food, like,
choices.
the main meals I've heard are pretty good recently.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have gotten better. I think they're better than last year. There's just a lot less options. Like you don't get the
Yeah.
hot pretzel or the cookies and
Or
stuff
like an
that.
Uncrustable in the morning,
Yeah.
things like that. So we are putting requests out to the company, you know, as we hear them from students. So the most recent one that I heard was that there was a request for Uncrustables to come back. So I did send that over. We'll see.
Ooh.
I don't know if it'll meet the rules, the requirements, but if they can, I bet they'll try to bring it back. So
Do you know why we switched companies? Was it just because like
We weren't following like,
we
the
weren't following
standard
protocol or whatever
Yeah.
they were saying?
I don't know all the details, but I do know that there's a lot of rules around food at school, and there's a lot of like people who like monitor and make sure like all these different things. And so I do know some of the items were out of compliance, and I also know that they had to put out like bids to different companies to see who could best meet like the requirements. And I believe this company had a reputation for always meeting all the requirements. And I know that the plan is for them to roll out more options. Like they said, they're going to try to bring the cookies back, but not the ones as big as your
big.
head and, you know, other pieces of the puzzle. So, yeah, I know it's complicated, and I know, big feelings about school lunch, including from my own kids.
Oh yeah.
It just takes a little bit more work making my own lunch in the
I
morning.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
The favorite place you have traveled to?
Let me think about that. I have so many wonderful places that I've traveled to. I've been overseas quite a bit.
So do you travel a lot?
We like to. We travel less now that our kids are in a whole bunch of different sports. And so we travel to watch them play sports. Like I have my youngest is a competitive gymnast. And so he has competitions that like this year he'll be in California and stuff like that.
Jeez.
But let me think. Overseas, my favorite place that I've traveled is maybe Israel.
Ooh.
That was a really beautiful trip. But I also had the chance to travel to Rwanda, which is a very beautiful place. And I've been to Kenya. I've been to Thailand, been to Europe.
Wow.
I'm really lucky that I've got to be a lot of places. But also I think here in the U.S. we have a ton of beautiful national parks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Colorado, even though I think the community, we really love the community here in Michigan where we live. We really love visiting Colorado because it's so pretty. So that wasn't really a direct answer. Sorry.
No, it was perfect.
I think there's lots of wonderful places to go.
There is.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, guys. Catch us on the next podcast.